The Paleolithic era, a time long ago. It was a time before cars, phones, or even houses. The world was a very different place then. The earth was much colder. Giant sheets of ice covered the land. This was the time of the hunter-gatherers. These early humans lived in a challenging world. They had to hunt for food. They had to gather plants to survive. Life was a daily struggle against nature. But they were resourceful. They learned to use what they found in nature. They made tools from stone and wood. They used fire for warmth and cooking. They even created art on cave walls. The Paleolithic era was a time of survival. It was also a time of incredible innovation. The sun rose over the frozen landscape, casting a golden hue over the snow-covered terrain. The air was crisp, and the silence of the early morning was only broken by the occasional rustle of the wind through the trees. A band of hunters stirred in their makeshift camp, their breath visible in the cold air. They had spent the night huddled together for warmth, their bodies wrapped in animal skins to protect against the biting cold. They were a family group, bound by blood and survival. Each member had a role to play, from the youngest child to the eldest elder. Their lives were intertwined, their fates shared. The men prepared for the day's hunt. They sharpened their spears with meticulous care, knowing that a dull weapon could mean the difference between life and death. They checked their traps, ensuring they were set correctly and ready to capture any unsuspecting prey. Every movement was precise, born from years of experience. These hunters had honed their skills over countless seasons, learning from both success and failure. Their eyes were sharp, their senses attuned to the slightest changes in their environment. They were tracking a mammoth, a creature of immense size and power. Its tracks were fresh in the snow, leading them deeper into the forest. The hunters knew that this was their chance to secure food for their families for weeks to come. This massive beast could feed their families for weeks. Its meat would provide sustenance, its hide would offer warmth, and its bones could be used for tools and weapons. The mammoth was a lifeline in the harsh winter months. The hunters moved with stealth and purpose, their footsteps barely making a sound in the snow. They communicated with hand signals and whispers, their movements synchronized and deliberate. They knew the mammoth's habits. They had studied its behavior, learning when it was most vulnerable and when it was most dangerous. This knowledge was crucial for a successful hunt. They understood its strengths and weaknesses. The mammoth was powerful, but it was also slow and cumbersome. The hunters planned their strategy carefully, knowing that one wrong move could spell disaster. The hunt was not just about strength, it was about intelligence and teamwork. They were patient, they were skilled, they were hunters. Each member of the group had a role to play, and they relied on each other to succeed. It was about intelligence and teamwork. They were patient, they were skilled, they were hunters. Their survival depended on it. They knew that working together was their best chance of bringing down the mammoth. Their survival depended on it. The harsh winter months were unforgiving, and the success of this hunt could mean the difference between life and death for the entire group.
The mammoth will be near the river. Its tracks lead us in that direction. We must be cautious and move quietly. We must be quiet and approach from downwind. The mammoth has a keen sense of smell, and we cannot afford to alert it to our presence.
Yes, and remember, we need to drive it towards the traps. Everyone, stay alert. This is our chance, and we must not let it slip away. Stay focused, stay together, and we will succeed.
While the men hunted, the women gathered. This was a daily ritual, a dance with nature that required patience and skill. The forest was their domain, a place where they could find the sustenance needed to keep their families strong and healthy. They searched for edible plants, roots, and berries. Each plant had its season, and the women knew exactly when and where to find them. They moved through the forest with a sense of purpose, their eyes scanning the ground and the trees for signs of life. Their knowledge of the land was vast. Passed down through generations, this wisdom was a lifeline. They could read the subtle signs of the forest, understanding which plants were thriving and which were struggling. They could identify which plants were safe to eat and which were poisonous. This knowledge was crucial, as a single mistake could be fatal. They taught their children these skills, ensuring the survival of their community.
These berries are perfect. They'll give us the energy we need. The vibrant color and sweet taste were a welcome sight, a promise of nourishment in the harsh environment.
One woman, Elila, moved with a practiced grace. She had been foraging since she was a child, learning from her mother and grandmother. Each step she took was deliberate, each movement a testament to her experience. Her eyes scanned the ground, searching for signs of life. She knew the forest well, every tree and bush a familiar friend. Her senses were attuned to the slightest changes in her environment. She spotted a patch of bright red berries peeking out from beneath the snow. These berries were a rare find in the winter months, a hidden treasure that could make a significant difference in their diet. These berries were a rare treat. They were not only delicious, but also packed with nutrients that were hard to come by during the cold season. They would provide much-needed vitamins and energy. Elila knew that these berries could help ward off illness and keep their bodies strong. She carefully collected the berries in a pouch made of animal skin. This pouch was a cherished item, crafted by her own hands and used for many seasons. She would share this bounty with her family. The berries would be a welcome addition to their meals, a burst of flavor and nutrition. Gathering was not as glamorous as hunting. It required a different set of skills, a deep understanding of the natural world, and a patience that was often tested. But it was just as essential for their survival. Without the women's efforts, the community would struggle to find the balance needed to thrive. Their work was a silent but powerful force, ensuring that everyone had enough to eat and the strength to face another day. Back at the camp, children played. They chased each other around the fire. They laughed and tumbled in the snow. Life was hard, but children found joy in simple things.
Come on, boy, fetch the stick.
A young boy, Torak, played with a dog. The dog was more than a pet. It was a companion. It helped with hunting. It provided warmth and protection. Torak threw a stick. The dog bounded after it, its tail wagging furiously. The boy's laughter echoed through the camp. In a world of uncertainty, these moments of joy were precious. They were a reminder of the importance of family and companionship. Section 5. The Power of Fire. As the sun began to set, the hunters returned. They had been successful. The day's hunt had been long and arduous, but their efforts had paid off. The group moved with a sense of purpose and pride, knowing that their survival depended on these moments of triumph. They carried the carcass of a young mammoth. This was no small feat. The mammoth was a massive creature, and bringing it down required skill, teamwork, and bravery. The hunters' faces were etched with a mixture of exhaustion and satisfaction. The entire camp erupted in celebration. Fire was crucial. It was the heart of their community, a beacon of hope and warmth. The flickering flames danced in the eyes of the gathered crowd, reflecting their joy and relief. It provided warmth in the bitter cold. The nights were harsh and unforgiving, but the fire offered a sanctuary. It was a place where stories were shared and bonds were strengthened. The warmth of the fire was more than physical, it was emotional and spiritual. It kept predators at bay. The wild was full of dangers, and the fire's glow was a deterrent to the lurking threats. It was a shield, a guardian that allowed the community to rest with a sense of security. And it allowed them to cook meat. Cooking transformed their food, making it more palatable and easier to digest. The aroma of roasting meat filled the air, a promise of sustenance and strength. The women set about butchering the mammoth. Their hands moved with practiced precision, each cut deliberate and efficient. They knew the importance of their task, and they worked with a sense of duty and care. They worked quickly and efficiently. Time was of the essence, and they had honed their skills to ensure that nothing was wasted. Every part of the mammoth had a purpose, and they were determined to make the most of their hard-won prize. They used every part of the animal. Nothing went to waste. The meat would feed the community, the hide would provide clothing and shelter, and the bones would be crafted into tools and weapons. This was a testament to their resourcefulness and respect for the life they had taken. The meat would be roasted over the fire. The process was communal, a shared experience that brought everyone together. The fire was the center of their world, a place where they could gather and connect. The hide would be used for clothing and shelter. It was a vital resource, protecting them from the elements and providing comfort. The women worked with skill and care, transforming the raw material into something that would sustain their community. Even the bones would be turned into tools and weapons. These were essential for their survival, enabling them to hunt, build, and defend themselves. The creation of these tools was an art, a craft that was passed down through generations. Fire was more than just a tool for survival. It was a symbol of their ingenuity. It represented their ability to harness the power of nature and use it to their advantage. The fire was a constant reminder of their resilience and creativity. It was a symbol of their ingenuity. The fire was a testament to their ability to adapt and thrive in a challenging world. It was a source of inspiration, a beacon of hope that guided them through the darkest times. It was a testament to their ability to control and manipulate the natural world. The fire was a powerful force, and their mastery of it was a mark of their intelligence and determination. It was a symbol of their journey, a journey that would lead them to new horizons and greater achievements.
The next day we worked on our tools.
They used stones to chip away at other stones, creating sharp edges.
We fashioned spears for hunting and knives for cutting.
These tools were essential for their survival.
One man, Drog, was particularly skilled.
He could create a sharp blade from a simple rock.
He carefully selected a piece of flint.
He struck it with another stone, creating a shower of sparks.
He was creating a hand axe.
This versatile tool could be used for chopping wood, hunting, and even self-defense.
Drog took pride in his work.
He knew that his tools were essential for the survival of his family.
Deep inside a cave, a different kind of activity was taking place.
Here, by the flickering light of torches, early humans created art.
They used charcoal and ochre to paint on the cave walls.
Their art depicted the animals they hunted, the rituals they performed, and the stories they told.
One woman, Isla, was known for her artistic skills.
She dipped her hand in red ochre.
She pressed it against the cool cave wall.
She was creating a handprint, a symbol of her presence, a message from the past to the future.
The cave paintings were more than just decorations.
They were a way of communicating. They were a way of recording their history. They were a way of making sense of the world around them. The Paleolithic era was a time of great change. Early humans developed new technologies. They created new forms of art and expression. They adapted to their environment. They thrived in the face of adversity. Their innovations, though simple, were groundbreaking. Fire provided warmth, protection, and a way to cook food. Tools made hunting and gathering more efficient. Cave paintings allowed them to communicate and express themselves. These innovations were not just important for their own survival, they laid the foundation for the future of humanity. They were the building blocks upon which civilization would be built. The Paleolithic era eventually gave way to the Neolithic era. This marked a significant shift in human history.
Humans began to farm the land.
They domesticated animals.
They settled in one place and built villages.
But the innovations of the Paleolithic era were not forgotten. They continued to shape the lives of humans for generations to come.
The ability to control fire, to create tools, and to express oneself through art, these were the hallmarks of human ingenuity.
They were the legacy of the Paleolithic era, and they would continue to inspire humanity long after the last glacier had receded.